Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you're watching this. So, if you've been here for any length of time, you know that being balanced is something I don't necessarily believe in, but being centered is something I absolutely believe in. Now, speaking of which, my daughter is actually in the background. You're probably going to hear sounds of dishes or a microwave or whatever. She is making herself a lunch real quick before she continues on with school. So, just throwing that caveat out there, if you hear any random noises, that would be why. But I wanted to say that for the first 4 years of my business, I completely fell in the trap of trying to chase balance and I got super overwhelmed. I felt like I was always failing in one area and doing well in another. And it just made me very discouraged. Like my mental mindset was pretty crappy because I thought that I could have like the perfect balance. So what I would do is I would try a new system. It would work for a little bit and then it would stop working and then it would fail. And then I just repeated that cycle over and over for 4 years. So if you're new here, I'm Tanya Johnson. I am the founder of Helping Hearts Ministries. And what I do is I help moms balance all things marriage, motherhood, and money. I've been working full-time from home from social media since 2016. I added on homeschool into the mix around late 2018, early 2019. And so this channel is for all the moms who are out there wearing all the hats and truly living that hashtag boss mom life. So how do you live a centered life? How do you do all the things without getting overwhelmed and without dropping the ball, so to speak, as you're juggling things? So first I want to say being centered is being able to know what your end goal is in life. So not in your title as a mom, not in your title as a homeschool mom, not in your title as a business owner, but what is your purpose? What did God put you here for? Why do you get up every day and show up? Like, what is the purpose that he put you here for? So instead of looking around saying I've got to do all the things today and them all kind of bleeding into one, I purposely compartmentalize. So my typical schedule is I get up, I go to the gym. That is my me time. I'm doing that for my own self-care. Then once I come home, I make my husband breakfast and coffee and send him off to work. That falls under my wife umbrella. Then I get my daughter up and we sit down and we do our devotions and our Bible study together. That falls under my mom umbrella. At that point, I typically will get up. I will do meal prep for the day or for a couple of days. I'll clean my house. That is kind of self-care, kind of wife, mom. That one's kind of homemaker duty, right? And then I sit down and we get our school knocked out for a few hours. That's definitely the homeschool umbrella. And then when my husband comes home, dinner's ready and on the table, usually. Not perfect at that, but I do try. The house is typically clean by that point. So we have dinner together. We typically will play a game with our daughter. And then she has relaxed for a couple of hours. He usually sits down and does homework and then relaxes with her. I typically will get my work done at that point. So I put on a whole different hat. And then him and I spend time together when Glory goes to bed. So that's what works for us. It's definitely a nice little rhythm that we have going on. But if I tried to look at every area of my life and have it balanced, so every Monday I have an equal time of mom, wife, homeschool, business owner. Every Tuesday, every Wednesday, every Thursday, I would probably get a little overwhelmed because the truth is some days are a little heavier on the work. Some days are a little heavier on the homeschooling. Tuesdays, for example, because today's Wednesday, so I can easily reflect back on yesterday, very heavy on the homeschooling and mom duties. Wednesday is much heavier on work. That is when I film all of my content for the week. And then we also go to church Wednesday night. So the homeschool is a smaller sliver. The mom is still a pretty big chunk. The wife is a smaller sliver. Dinner's typically a lot easier on Wednesday nights. I don't typically do my hour cleaning routine. I just kind of straighten up real quick on the way out the door. And then we don't spend much time together as a family in the evening because we're at church. So there are going to be different days with different priorities, and you'll be okay with that if you are striving to be centered instead of balanced. So I know that was like a longer introduction than I normally do, but I wanted to explain that because we're not striving for perfection. We're not striving for every day to look exactly the same. We are striving for our weeks and our months and our years to be centered around whatever purpose it is that we're here for versus trying to have that like ever elusive perfect balance every single day. So how do you achieve centeredness in your life? You give yourself a monthly assessment. So I'm going to show you right up here on the screen exactly how you do that. And what I've put together is a freebie pack for you guys that has 12 monthly assessment sheets themed for each month They're super cute and fun, so it makes you want to actually print them off and use them. I'm gonna walk you through the June assessment just because I really love the beach and it's beach themed. So the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna pull out your sheet, and in the middle column, you're gonna write down every single hat that you wear. So if you go to a traditional job, if you are a teacher, if you are a waitress, if you are a barista, whatever it is that you are, put your job title down. If you have kids, write down mom, which 99% of you have kids because that's why you're on this channel. If you are in ministry, write down you're a Sunday school teacher, you're a junior church leader, you are a pastor's wife. Like if you are a wife of a ministry leader, you know just as well as I do that you're also in full-time ministry with them. So write that title down. If you're a homeschool mom, write down homeschool mom. If you're a wife, write down wife. And then you also want to make sure in there that you put self-care, me, however you want to word it. But a hat that we all wear is we are women. So we also need to take time for ourselves and fill our own cups if we want to fill everybody else's cup. So step one in that middle column is you're just going to write down every single hat that you wear. Now, step two on the left-hand column, and I realize as you're watching this, this probably looks like I'm pointing to the right, but as I'm filming this, this is my left hand. You're going to rate yourself 1 to 10 in each of those areas. So if my first column says homeschool mom, in the last 30 days, how well did I perform my homeschool duties? And here's what I do. I tell every client that I have to do this as well. Don't go easy on yourself. Now, I'm not saying you don't give yourself a little bit of grace. You don't need to like berate yourself for not being great in a certain area. But look at this as if you were a boss and you were rating yourself as if you were your employee. I know that's like a tongue twister. But if I'm going to show up and say, okay, homeschool mom, how did I do in this area? I'm not going to give myself a 9 if I know most days we didn't even do a full homeschool day. Full being whatever full is for you, but actually getting our stuff done. So rate each of those items 1 to 10. Now, chances are you're going to have a couple of your hats that you score really high in, and you're going to have a couple that you score really low in, and that's okay. The goal is to be scoring 6 or 7 on all of these consistently versus scoring 9 or 10 on some and only scoring 1 or 2 on others consistently. So step 1, write everything down in the middle column. Step 2, rate yourself on 1 to 10. And then step 3, which is going to be on the right-hand column, you're going to write down one thing that you can do in the next 30 days that would make that number go higher. So again, I'm just going to use homeschool as an example. If I wrote down I only rated myself a 3 because maybe we just had a really rough month and we did not sit down and get our lessons done, or maybe I was dragging every morning, not getting out of bed, so we didn't start till like 1, 2 in the afternoon. My daughter had a really bad attitude, not at all speaking from experience that we've ever done this, but then I'm going to write down, okay, here's how I can make this better. I can get my butt out of bed when the alarm goes off, right? I can stick to some kind of schedule. So whatever it is, one thing that you can focus on in that area that would make that area better for you. So now you have given yourself the complete monthly assessment. You have all your hats. You have rated yourself 1 to 10 and how well you've done in each of those in the last 30 days. And you have one thing written down that you can do to improve on those things. Now what you're going to do, this is step 4, is up in the top right-hand corner, there's going to be a little area that says something I did well. It does not matter how many balls you dropped as you were juggling in the last 30 days. You did something really well and you deserve to celebrate that. So write down 2 or 3 things that you did well. Now this could be I did really good in the wife department because I made sure my husband had lunch at work every single day. I did really good in the homeschool department because we did get up and do our school every single day. I did really good in the mom department because I read my kid a story every single night before bed, like I said I was going to, so I kept my word. So whatever it is that you did well, write them. And then more middle to left, this is going to be step number 5. There's going to be 1, 2, and 3. These are the 3 hats you're going to focus on in the next 30 days. I don't care if you scored 1 in every single area. You cannot focus on every area all out of the gate next month. We're going to pick 3 areas that are really important to prioritize. That could be if you're an online business owner and maybe you're like me and you do summits. That's what I know, so that's what I'm going to talk about. Maybe I've got 2 summits coming up next month, so I'm going to have to prioritize business a little bit more this month than I did last month. So I might put business owner in there. It may be that you are a homeschooler and you've got testing season come up. So you have to prioritize a little bit more in the homeschool, let some other things fall by the wayside. Now, maybe you're doing really good in the obligations that have deadlines, but maybe you're not keeping your house super clean and it's important to your husband. So maybe you're going to put wife in there, and the thing you're going to focus on is making sure when he gets home from work that the house is actually clean-ish, whatever y'all standards are. I say clean, but I can tell you for sure my house is not clean every single day. It's cleanish. So it is, when he walks in the door, it doesn't look like there's mass chaos, and it is sanitary. That is my standard for clean as a homeschool mom. You can have whatever standard it is that you want. So once you have those things all plugged in, you have your whole sheet filled out, then this is something that you're going to repeat every single month until you are pretty centered in all of your priorities and all the hats that you're wearing. So I hope that helped. This is something that I've been doing month in and month out since my daughter was pretty much born. She might have been a few months old when I started this, but it has made a huge difference in just my mindset. It's made a huge difference in how I look at the mundane daily chores. It's made a huge difference in making sure I don't get consumed with work, because if you know me in real life, you know that's something I absolutely can get consumed with. So as always, I want to leave you with 3 action steps, and these are things that you can shut this video off and go do them immediately. Number 1 is go download the freebie pack. Go over to the show notes. They're linked down in the description area, and download the 12-month of free assessment sheets. Again, they're super cute and fun. They'll definitely motivate you to actually do the assessments. Number 2 is go ahead and give yourself that first assessment. I don't care if you're watching this in the middle of the month. Go ahead and do it for the last 2 to 3 weeks if that's what you have. But whenever you're watching this, go and give yourself the assessment. And then lastly, tag us at The Boss Mom Co. and let us know which priorities, 1, 2, or 3, however many you want to share, that you're going to prioritize in the next 30 days. What I'm doing is we have a $25 gift card giveaway that we do every single month. So by you going on, tagging us at The Boss Mom Co., letting us know what you're prioritizing, we will enter you into the $25 gift card giveaway, and those drawings happen every Monday morning. They're posted up in my stories, so you do not have to go hunt for them. They're all in one place, and hopefully you'll be one of the winners. So until next time, I am Tanya Johnson with The Boss Mom Co., and I hope you have an awesome rest of your week.